Hi everybody, today we would like to talk about leather and what we like about leather in perfumes and which different takes there are on leather. Why do you like leather in perfumes?
Oh, why do I like leather in perfumes? For me, leather, it gives me different associations, so I can get like a luxurious, expensive feeling when I smell leather. It can remind me of like a leather sofa in a club, or like sitting on the back of a motor and like smelling a leather jacket. So I have so many associations. I would say I suggest it a lot with freedom, I guess. So maybe that's why I like it.
Yeah, that's really nice because for me it is the elegance and the luxury feeling, but how you translate it in your memories like motorcycling and clubbing, then the freedom is also a strong aspect. But for me it is the elegance and the feeling of luxury, I think, when I wear it. Yes.
Well, and we have quite some leather perfumes in our collection at the Perfume Lounge, as you might well know. And what do you think if we will explore a few of them and maybe group them into different vibes, let's say?
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Go inside the shop. It was a difficult decision because we quite have some leather faceted perfumes in our collection. And what we did is we grouped them in 6. I will discuss 3 and Jester will discuss 3. I would like to start with my favorite actually, the elegant and expensive. In this collection you get with these 4 fragrances, you get the elegant and expensive vibe. Baikal Leather by Patricia de Nicolai, which is also quite airy. Leather Shot by Bertrand Duchaufour of Olfactive Studio. Cuir Ottoman, which I already gave a special mention to. And Marc-Antoine Barrois B683 by Quentin Biche. Leathery, expensive and woody. After the expensive and elegant, I would like to go to the floral leathers, which are combinations of floral and leather, of course. And I have here a nice selection of 3 totally different vibes. Christian Cavagna with Boa Madre has a strong tuberose leather. Ombre Indigo, Olfactive Studio, also combines tuberose with leather, but is a bit more, what would I say? A bit more mysterious. And Malin & Guts leather is a fresh, easygoing leather where the florals are more like lily of the valley and freshness combined. If you would like to start with a leather fragrance, perhaps this is a nice startup with the leather of Malin & Guts. Yeah. My third group is the sexy, seductive leathers. Anubis by Papillon, Lismore knows how to seduce. Arabian Horse, which is dirty and animalic, by Pierre Guillaume. And of course Francesca Bianchi with Lover Still. She says perfume is liquid emotion, and that truly is. Lover Still is leathery and sexy at the same time. Lorenzo Villoresi Atman Xaman is a nice combination with tobacco, but gives also a very sexy, little bit dirty feel to it.
Smokiness and leather, together they make a wonderful pair. And here we have 4 examples of gorgeous leather smoky perfumes. Let's start with the award-winning Hyde by Hiram Greens, super smoky, even salty. Next to it we see Lita, which has kind of, for me, a rock and roll feeling. It's very dark and dense. Casa Cuervo is very interesting. It's by Brava Nariz and it's 100% natural. So if you would like to smell how you can create a leather smoky perfume with all naturals, definitely check this one out. And Beaufort's smoky leather is called Iron Duke. We have a group here that we call bold leathers, kind of like statement leathers. And I'd like to start out first with Tabac Blond, because while you smell it now, you might think, oh, is this really a bold perfume? But don't forget about historical context, because when this perfume came out, it really was quite a thing to wear this. A lot of women wore this, and this was pretty unusual at that time. So yeah, it's a super bold perfume. It's iconic. And here we have Center 2 by the Zoo, which is also a very bold perfume. For me, it's kind of like a red leather, like a brand new Carts leather interior, super fancy sofa at a club, gorgeous leather. Talk about bold leathers. Koyun by Orto Parisi is definitely not for the faint of heart. And some boldness, woodiness is Duro by Nasomatto. Very long-lasting perfume with a very nice leather note. All perfumes make you stand out. So we have some sweet and smooth leather perfumes here for you. And let's start out with Slow Explosions by these really nice House Imaginary authors. It's a very nice leather, which is a little fruity, rosy, and because of the apple note, sweet as well. And I would say this is for all the perfumes. Queer Cuba is not just a sweet leather, but it's also deep and has like a very nice tobacco feel to it and a wonderful anisette opening, which again gives it a really nice twist. I'm in love actually with this one, Queer Caron by MDCI Parfum. It's really, really wonderful. And there's some really beautiful flowers in there, and it's the leather and the sweetness, and it is truly playful. The last one I have here is Queer Venom by Pierre Guillaume. And it's a wonderful perfume because yes, it's leathery and yes, it's sweet. But for me, when I smell this, if it's a perfume, I have to think, what do I smell? It's not like the most easy perfume. It makes you think about what you smell, which is very nice in the leather, I think. All of them sweet, accessible. If you don't like smoky perfumes, then you can go for something sweet, which still has a leather note to it. We just came back from the shop and we talked a little bit about all these different leather perfumes. But Tanja, can you tell me a little bit about the history of leather in perfumes? How did it came to be?
Yeah, because the funny thing, there is not actually leather in the perfume. It's the leather association which is in the perfume. And well, it goes back a long way, I don't know, centuries back, when there was the process of tanning the leather. If you read about it, it was an awful smell. It was also tanned partially with urine, because that made the leather nice and soft. You can imagine that they had leather gloves and that the nobility in France and in Italy did not want to smell like urinous gloves.
So they invented something to cover up this stench.
And the leather process or the leather industry was mainly focused in Grasse, and so Grasse was known for the leather. And then this was a Mediterranean area where a lot of jasmine, roses flourished, and they came to the idea of covering up this hideous smell of tanning the leather with floral oils.
Yeah. So you could say that in that time there were leather tanneries all over Europe, I guess. So that in all these different places they would use different mixtures to scent those leather products.
Yes, yes. And that's really also how perfumery started, to cover up the smell of leather.
Yeah. And so we could say that there's no such thing as leather as an ingredient, but rather leather as a note, as a feel, like a combination of ingredients that gives us the sensation of smelling a fresh leather jacket or suede or something like this.
Yes, and we have perfumers have fantastic synthetic ingredients for this, but also naturals. So if you think about the naturals, birch tar or castoreum, saffron, they all have a leathery feel, but you also have these synthetics like IBQ. What is IBQ?
It's it's a synthetic ingredient which it gives the feel of leather, I guess because we recognize it as such, but I think it also is a little sort of green leather notes.
Yeah, and that was already present in the 20s, last century, when, for example, Cuir de Russie by Chanel was launched, I think.
Yes, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I smelled lots of it in Vintage Bandit by Robert Piquet.
Exactly.
It has a lot of that.
Do you know that Bandit comes back again?
Yeah, I heard it.
Finally,
I'm really happy
return.
about it.
So I'm happy to sell it again in the shop because we missed it.
So Tanja, can you name a few really iconic leather perfumes?
Outside our shop?
outside our shop. Could be from our collection, could be like classics that any fan of perfume or anyone that is interested in leather as a note in perfumery must smell.
Yeah, Cuir de Russie, definitely.
By Chanel.
Yes.
Yes.
Niezeten, Kniezeten, sometimes they say.
Well, yeah, I own Niezeten. I really love it. It's a bit of a soapy leather to me,
Yeah.
but I really like it. Bandit, of course, is
Yes.
iconic. LT Pivers Cuir Russie is really nice as well.
Okay.
Cuir Russie, it's like a honeyed leather.
And from our collection, I adore Tabac Blonde by Caron, also because of its roaring 20s vibe, but also Parfum d'Empire, Cuir Ottoman. I wear that a lot.
Thank you for watching this video about leather in perfumes. If you like to know more about leather, or if you want to try more leather perfumes, then feel free to visit our shop and where you can smell the perfumes live, as we say. And we have a beautiful sample service, Tanja, right?
Exactly. Online you can find our sample service. You can always also include a sample with your purchase of a full bottle. And you can check out our content on the ingredients and on the olfactive families. We hope to see you online or physically live in the perfume lounge to enjoy leather.
Bye.
Bye.